That was one hell of a football game. It might have been game of the year. Week 1, Sunday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills defeat the Baltimore Ravens 41-40 on a walk-off field goal from Matt Prater, who just had to come in on a red eye because Tyler Bass, the Bills kicker, went to the IR. And we may have opened up the NFL season on Sunday Night Football Week 1 with the game of the year. And I'd be lying to you if I said that I don't want to see that shit again in January, because I need that game in the playoffs yet again. Buffalo yet again gets the best of the Baltimore Ravens in a big spot. Felt like a big game. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson absolutely put on a show in this one. I'm not going to lie, going into the season, I was still a Mahomes is the best quarterback in football guy based on the winning and just kind of what we know Mahomes' talent to be, even though the numbers statistically hadn't been there. But if you were a Lamar and Josh Allen are the two best quarterbacks in football person, tonight was as much validation as you need. If someone says, I don't believe you, tell them to go put on this game. Lamar Jackson totals 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, a 144 passer rating. Josh Allen totals 420 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a 112 passer rating with no turnovers. The guys played perfect football. Ultimately, Josh gets the better of Lamar in this spot, but Jesus, man, what more could you have asked from Lamar in this spot? Both of these guys were perfect. They were perfect. And at the end of the day, we saw some really great football. Buffalo came out on top. If you are looking at these two teams, you could make a case in your power rankings that they're the two best in the NFL. You could make a certain case that they're the two best in the AFC. Obviously, the Chargers had a big win. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs. You look around that AFC, nothing compares to what we saw from Baltimore and Buffalo tonight, especially in terms of week 1 performances from these teams. This is the class of the AFC. This was the class of the AFC. And shit, just the class of the NFL going head to head. And Josh Allen really, really impressed me. We're going to talk about the Bills here. Josh Allen coming into this season, I felt was under a lot of pressure. I thought that the Bills had continuously put Super Bowl level rosters around Josh, and he obviously continued to come up short to Kansas City, especially in the playoffs. And it's only week 1 of the regular season. We got a long ways to go. But I did predict the Buffalo Bills to finally get over that hump and make the Super Bowl in my preseason predictions. And a big reason for that was I thought that Josh really leveled up to the best version of Josh Allen that has ever existed last season. And cutting down on the turnovers, playing for the next down, while also being able to really unleash his ability, mobility, arm talent, arm strength. It was just all there. And tonight, I believe, was the best football game Josh Allen has ever played. Seriously, 420 total yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. The throws this guy was making on the run, rolling out to the right, rolling out to the left, 20, 30, 40 yards down the field, continuously extending plays, using his size in the run game, just brushing off Roquan Smith to continue forward momentum, to get out of bounds, to make sure that the clock didn't keep rolling on that drive. The guy was, what was it? I mean, how many yards did he get on that last drive? Are we talking 80 yards on that last drive? Am I 66 yards on that last drive? But I believe that they were even backed up. So I think he threw for 70 yards in the span of 1 minute and 26 seconds on that drive. Like, that was the best football game Josh Allen has ever played. And the weapons in Buffalo, the pieces are starting to come together. Because 2 years ago, they really didn't have the weapons core. Last year, it felt like a lot was on the feet of James Cook, and they had some young pieces that you were hoping were eventually going to step up if you were a Bills fan. But tonight, it looked like all the pieces on that offense were really starting to come together. James Cook was continuing his success from last season with 100 total yards and a touchdown. Khalil Shakur was a safety blanket still. But Dalton Kincaid finally looking like he's taking over that tight end 1 role, and was prominent for them, was a vertical threat, had that tight end, had a big catch in this game. Keon Coleman, 8 for 112 and a touchdown. looking like the guy that they drafted in that first round to be an elite wide receiver one on the outside for them. Now, I don't know if he's an elite talent, but the production with a quarterback like Josh Allen, no doubt can be elite. We saw it here tonight. Things are starting to come together for Buffalo in their last season in this stadium. And if this doesn't feel like the start of a miracle run for the Buffalo Bills, I don't know what does. Down 15 in the fourth quarter to your contemporary in Lamar Jackson, another top 3 quarterback in the sport. Buffalo hasn't come back from a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter since 1967. And they do it tonight. Man, this Buffalo team feels real special, man. Josh Allen feels like he could be headed towards back-to-back MVP seasons based on the way that the rest of the AFC East looks today. The Bills should cakewalk to this division, and this might be a 13, 14, 15 win football team. The Buffalo Bills really, really impressed me. There obviously are some question marks on their run defense. We'll talk about, obviously, Baltimore's success, but they gave up 238 rushing yards tonight. Now it is Baltimore. They were the best rushing offense in football last year. Kind of hard to just stop the Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry duo. So you don't want to completely judge Buffalo based on this game, but this is also a Ravens team that they're going to run into again. And is it fair to ask Josh Allen to be Superman every time he plays this team? Or should he hope to get something from his defense? Something. And, they did make Derrick Henry fumble. So, it is a game of turnovers. It's a game of little plays here and there. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills were amazing. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, being 0-1 sucks. Losing this game sucks. And I know this is going to sound very like morning talk show host guy, but what does having your season end to Buffalo in the divisional round of the playoffs last year in heartbreaking fashion on that 2-point conversion drop, followed up by an offseason of thinking about it, retooling the team, getting better, being viewed as the best roster in the NFL by some, having the highest Super Bowl odds, to week 1 open up in Buffalo and lose in heartbreaking fashion again due to a team's morale. I don't think it'll be something that lingers with Baltimore throughout the whole season. I don't think it's something that, now Lamar's going to have a down year. But if we get to an AFC championship in Buffalo, that's got to be something that runs through their mind. If this is an AFC championship or a playoff rematch, the Ravens are going to be like, are we going to lose again in heartbreaking fashion? It has to be on their mind. Lamar played excellent in this game. As I mentioned already, 3 total touchdowns, 280 total yards of offense from him. A 144 passer rating is absolutely disgusting. Derrick Henry still owns the Buffalo Bills traditionally. 18 carries for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. A 50-yard touchdown in this game. Like, he is ageless. At 31 years old to still be an elite running back is fucking insane. We haven't seen anything like Derrick Henry in NFL history, and I'm not sure we ever will again. He's an absolute monster. Zay Flowers, 7 for 143 and a touchdown. He is firmly the wide receiver 1 in Baltimore, and to me, looks like he's improving year after year. The DeAndre Hopkins addition, we saw, even though it's going to be a limited role, just how vital he could be as he made a monster catch in this game that was unreal. Like, Baltimore has the roster as well. There's no doubt about it. Either one of these teams could win the AFC. It feels like a coin flip every time they play each other, and both of these teams certainly should be considered Super Bowl favorites at this point in time. And this game coming on a day in which there was a lot of sloppy football, a lot of teams looked unprepared, a lot of teams looked like they were just trying to get in and get out, and a lot of mistakes were made. On a day where that happened, for both of these teams to come out on their A-plus game, and the defenses, man, they were battling their asses off, but this is 2 Hall of Fame level quarterbacks in their prime going toe-to-toe, and what they are is almost impossible to stop, as both are elite passers and elite rushers and elite escape artists and play extenders. You think back to multiple times there were plays where it felt like both of these guys could have been sacked and plays were extended and throws were made Josh Allen had a couple of those throws. I think back to the Lamar Jackson play where he dropped back about 15 yards, scrambled, ran to the right, cut back across the middle of the field, and it ended up being like a 20-yard rushing gain. And Lamar himself on that very play ran about 60 yards. These guys are unreal. And both teams should hold their head high. I'm not about moral victories, especially when it's two elites of the elites. Buffalo should really be fucking feeling themselves. And again, like I said, this could be the start of a miracle year for Buffalo. This feels like the emotional start of it. And Baltimore, they'll have better days ahead. They're just too elite talent-wise. There's no doubt about that. You look at some of the team stats here in terms of first downs. Buffalo had 29, Baltimore 19. But Baltimore was averaging 10 yard or 8.6 yards per play in this game. Disgusting. Just about a first down every play that they ran is insane. Total yards 432 for Baltimore, 497 for Buffalo. Penalties were just about even. Time of possession went in favor of Buffalo, but that's just because Baltimore was moving the ball so much. One turnover for Baltimore, just the fumble from Derrick Henry, none from Buffalo. And man, in a game of inches, in a game where shit's just that close, one turnover could be all it takes. You can't give an elite quarterback like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson extra opportunities. And tonight, Josh Allen won with extra opportunities. 22-6 in the fourth quarter, Buffalo won. A historic comeback, a very fun comeback, game of the fucking year. And you're in week one, it's going to be hard to top it. Josh Allen looks to repeat as MVP, gets off to one hell of a campaign. Let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section down below. Tomorrow on the channel, 4 p.m. Eastern, sometime around then, we'll be talking about the rest of the week one games. And of course, we'll be up tomorrow night after the Monday Night Football for an instant reaction video just like this. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you love the NFL. We got these instant reaction videos, weekly recap videos, Tuesday tier lists, a Wednesday podcast with myself and Javon. If you love football, I know you'll love this channel. Hit that sub button. I will catch you next time. Peace.